Dylan, how do you, as a team, both appreciate the magnitude of tomorrow's game but not let it overwhelm you?
Yeah, it's a big game, and I mean, our season's on the line, and we've put ourselves in that position, whether good or bad, and we're going into a hockey game where we got to win, and that's exciting, and a great building to go into and have a game like that.
Are you seeing comparisons to last season? I mean, it was a very similar situation at this point last year.
Yeah, I do see comparisons, and I think with how we've played the last couple games against good teams, there's a confidence, and I think more so than last year with this team, we're pretty streaky, and we've gone on some really nice stretches after Christmas, and that's what we're looking to do to close out this season.
Dylan, I know it's a different team, but do you draw on last year where you were in desperation mode, winning the final three in the last two against Montreal?
Sorry, she said it.
Just do you draw on last year's experiences of when you won the final three games when you had to, including the last two with Montreal?
Yeah, you do, and you think about it and think about what it was like to play in those games. I do think we have a lot of young guys that weren't here last year, and it's a pretty new group. So great experience and a great opportunity to go in there and try and win a hockey game.
Dylan, you've played against Montreal for several years now, and they've been in a rebuild as well. What's the difference on ice as far as their growth when you're competing against them that you've seen over the last few seasons?
Well, I think they have really talented players, and their top six is a lot of young players that are really skilled, and their power play is dangerous, and they got the Hudson that makes a lot of plays, and it's very dynamic, and I think they've found out how to manage the puck, and their transition game's always been well, but their risk and making plays to the middle isn't as much, and they don't do it carelessly like they have been, and I think that's what's translated to their success.
What's it like? I mean, what makes it playing in that building so special? I mean, for us, it's the hot dogs and the press box.
Yeah.
But for you guys, what's it like playing in there?
Well, it's just a great atmosphere and great crowd. It's somewhere where we went in there this year, and we didn't play that well, and their fans get them into it, and it's good ice, good boards, so it's just a good hockey building, and I'm excited to play there, and I think all our guys are excited.
What was it like playing there on Saturday night against Canada and stuff?
Yeah, I mean that'll be hard to top, to be honest with you. The atmosphere of that game, and the electricity, the build up. It's probably one of my best hockey memories, and something I'll always remember that night.
Dylan, I wanted to ask you about Alex DeBrincat and what you're seeing from him this season. It's been, statistically, his goals are up and all that, but there's so much off the puck too that it seems like he's been contributing every night, whether he's scoring or not.
Yeah, he does it all, and I think just his confidence, and the puck has gone in the net, and even when it hasn't, he's stayed confident, and he knows when he gets his chances. Like if it doesn't go in that night, usually the next few nights he's getting one and back on track. So he stayed really consistent in scoring and consistent in how he's played, and that's with his confidence.
Larks, aside from the confidence that you talked about the last few games, what else have you seen commonality-wise throughout this point streak you guys are on?
I think goaltending. Talbot has made some massive saves for us, and I think the way we played after that Ottawa game, when we gave up a lot of outnumbered rushes, we really focused on that, and I think it hasn't taken away from our offense too much. And we've checked for our chances, but we haven't been giving up a lot, and what we have been, we've been getting some big saves.
The last handful of games now, playing with Alex and Patrick, what do you feel like has been working for you all as a group?
Well, yeah, it's been nice to play with those guys, and I think that the more we're playing together, the more familiar we're becoming, and I think they're looking for me, which is nice, and trying to get my confidence going, and drive up the middle, and then kick the puck out to those guys and let them make some plays. So it's not just standing at the net and letting those guys play. It's all five of us. I thought against Carolina we started to click and build some chemistry, and it carried over last night, and we had some really good looks. So it's just movement and having your stick on the ice and ready for the puck when those guys have it.
Hey, Dylan, can you just talk a little bit about the confidence you guys are playing with Cam behind you and net on the last 4 games? I think you guys have gotten 7 of 8 possible points, and he stopped 97 of 103 shots and made a really critical save in the final seconds yesterday. Yeah,
it's everything this time of year when you get a guy that's playing that way, and he's really been he's been rock solid. He's been a great addition to our locker room. He's a true pro. He works really hard on his game and takes care of himself. So I think he's fit in really well, and he's had a lot of success, and we've needed him, and he's answered the bell this stretch. So we're going to continue to do that, and whoever's playing back there, we're committed to blocking shots, and when we're playing tight defense and making it hard for their team, I think it gives those guys confidence as well back there.
Lucas, what's the excitement level for tomorrow? I mean, that's as huge a game as you guys will face.
Yeah, I mean, extremely excited. I think it'll be a great game. The atmosphere in Montreal is always good, and what's at stake as well. So I think everyone's excited for it.
Lucas, just for the guys that were here last year and experienced that the last few games and just all the drama, I mean, how much can that experience help going into tomorrow?
I think hopefully it helps, right? I think Montreal has been playing really good lately. They have a good team, and obviously with their home crowd is for sure something that helps them, but. I think at the same time we're playing some really good hockey right now, and I think what we need to do to be successful, and I think it's just about executing it.
Ray, at this time of the season, so many guys talk about just staying even keel, but how much can you lean into the highs and that confidence while staying middle at the same time?
Yeah, I mean it's a balance. You gotta control and try to manage the best you can. I think emotions are good. I think it brings out the best out of you, and if you're able to manage that and get that to your advantage, obviously it helps you. And at the same time, I feel like these are the kind of games you want to play. And if you don't get excited for that, I don't know what will. So just a great opportunity. I think we're ready for the task and excited to get out there.
Lucas, you've been around Patrick Kane for a year and a half now. What are some of the biggest things you've taken away from playing with him, and what stands out to you the most about the kind of the player that he is, the career he's had?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, right? Just watching the way that he, carries himself every day, the way he works in practice, the way he prepares himself for every game. I think it's amazing to watch, and obviously he's been a lot of help for me just to be able to see that, and with his hockey mind as well, to get input from him is huge, and he's a huge part of our team. So it's fun to have him.
Having spent time with Marco when you two were both playing on the wing with Dylan and now playing with him where he's your center, do you see a significant difference in his kind of role across those two positions, or is it mostly similar things?
I think Marco's game is pretty similar. I think he's been playing really good, and it's a great asset as well to be able to play both wing and center. And obviously, it's a bit different playing center, but yeah, I think the way he plays with his speed, his edge, and the competitiveness that he brings, I think it's huge for us, and the need for him to keep that going.
Hey, Lucas, I know you guys are mostly focused on yourselves and only have so much time to watch other teams, but you've seen Montreal a lot the past few years. They've taken a pretty big step this year. Just from your vantage point, what do you think has allowed them to take that leap? What have you made of the way that they've kind of roared into the picture this season?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think they have a lot of good young players, obviously having really good years, and playing very well as a team as well. So they're a good team. They have a lot of skill. They play with a lot of speed, a lot of edge, and very efficient as well. So yeah, I mean, different factors, I feel like, but yeah, they've had a good season, and know each other very well, just playing each other as many times as you do. So looking forward to tomorrow.
Todd, I know all along you've said just focus on the next game, keep things small. How do you still balance that given the magnitude of tomorrow's game?
Simple as just talk about what's in front of us, prepare for the game like we normally would, make sure the guys are focused on the task at hand and don't let them get too far ahead. Now, that's easier said than done because everybody's starting to do math and scoreboard watching. I know they are. That's human nature. And the outside begins to talk about, the runway's getting shorter, must win, all that type of stuff. But if we're doing our job and we're playing the way we can, we have to just focus on the next shift and that game and worry about what we can control. And that sounds very much like a cliche. It is, but it's the truth. It's just how it is.
Are you staying with Cam tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the balance there? I mean, at his age, and I think this will be his fifth straight, and he finished the last two periods of the previous, before he started starting, like not tiring him out, or is it just at a point where, like you said, there's so little runway, may as well go for it?
He's played very well. We're trying to get him the rest that he needs. Again, my experience with him when he gets on a roll and gets playing, get him the rest he needs, make sure he feels good, put him back in. And, we believe he can keep doing it. He's been excellent. He's made some real big saves, but some of the games haven't been, 40, 45 shots a night. We've been fortunate enough to keep the numbers 30 and under, and not a lot of action on the power play where it can really get hectic and quick. So there are some good things there. We've been able to practice with 3 goaltenders, so his workloads come down. He gets exactly what he needs, and the other 2 take over. I think he's set up to have a real good week.
Todd, 4 of the last 5.
You're hiding in that corner now. You're over here usually?
I'm slippery.
You get right to the back.
4 of the last 5 been 1-goal games, and a couple of times been scored on 6-on-5. How much of a focus is on the 6-on-5 play? Was it an issue a little earlier? I'm wondering how much you're focusing on it now.
Well, there's talk of it, and analyzing it, talking to individuals about maybe the mistakes they're making in certain situations. I think we get a little excited and start running out of position, and good teams pull you apart. So that's part of it. Face-offs are huge, 6-on-5. Even if you win them, it's not over there because a lot of the escape routes are taken away because of the extra player. And we saw that last night. We lost, I think we went through 3. We lost 2, 1-1, and didn't get it out. So different types of situations that present themselves have to be played differently, and we're talking about it, but it's hard to recreate it. So it's all discussion video-wise and with groups of players.
being out in the West, you haven't seen Montreal as much as we have the last few years, but during the rebuild, I'm just wondering how you've seen them grow and where they've grown on ice as far as their competitiveness and being in the position they are now.
Well, their staff, Marty, management, they've done a real good job of being patient and letting players grow and evolve into the roles they've grown into. Suzuki's become one of the best players in the league, and captain driving the team in that market. It's not an easy thing, but he's done a real good job, and everybody else is following. Montembeault playing in goal gives them a big lift, so they're a pretty solid team. It doesn't surprise me at all that they're where they're at. I from the outside, way outside on the West Coast looking in, it was just a matter of time before that team took off, and they have more prospects coming, so pretty bright future.
Hey, Todd, is that one of the better places to play in? Do you enjoy having games there?
Oh, yeah.
Just the atmosphere and all?
When I get asked, where do you like to go? Well, Montreal is certainly one of them, maybe because I'm a little bit of a traditionalist too, and Hockey Night in Canada when you were a kid, and Danny Gallivan's voice, and having been in or played in the old Forum, it's a special place, and it's church for hockey. That's where the hockey people go when they think of going to church. That's where they go. That's their cathedral.
Todd, a lot of young players that didn't experience this playoff chase last year, Kasper, Soderblom, Johansson, just the way they've embraced these pressure games here, especially the last a couple of weeks. What have you seen from them in that regard?
Well, I think our young players have been actually quite good. They've handled it well. It's almost like there's some innocence there. They just come and play another game. And they've played well. We've had Marco and Elmer and Razor. Those are three pretty young players playing against the other team's top line for 4 or 5 games in a row now. We've been able to basically point out in all of them. Albert gets big minutes, so the youth has accepted it. I think there hasn't been any fear or apprehension of going out there and playing, which is a real good sign. So I think they've handled it well.
Coach, on Marco in particular, he doesn't look like a 20-year-old rookie often, like the pass he made yesterday on comp for his goal and the patience that it takes for that play to develop and takes a hit to make the play. What did you make of that play in particular and just the way that he has kind of embraced these games down the stretch?
Yeah, good question, but you pretty much answered it yourself. The poise, take the hit, make the play, slide the puck into an area where somebody can skate onto it. When you're in that situation, you're kind of baiting somebody to come at you to open up ice, and it's all about timing and poise, and he's done a real good job in that particular play. But, we've kind of beat this drum an awful lot where he's a complete player, 200 foot. We can recognize his offense because it's recorded every day. You pull out the sheet and you see 15 goals or whatever for assists, but there isn't any type of stat pack that comes out for defensive kills or plays around the net that he just happens to break up, and he's very good at that as well. So we recognize it all the time.
Just a follow-up. Is everyone who played yesterday available?
Is everybody who played? Yes. At this point, yes. And just like every other team, we got bumps and bruises, and I'm glad we do, because if we didn't have them, we wouldn't even have a chance. So that's a good thing.
Just on the flip side of young players, you have Patrick Kane. What does it mean to have a guy at his age and his experience performing at the level he is?
Very important. There's a calmness to him, a confidence to him that kind of, he doesn't even have to talk. It just kind of, it's an aura around him that rubs off on other people. So he's been through these presses or pushes to get in, and then he's been through the long run. I'm sure there's pretty much nothing he hasn't seen. so he can refer back to experiences. It's not like he's jumping up in the locker room, pounding on a drum saying, hey, I did this and I've been there. But you just know that there's conversations on the plane or at dinner, or, there may be, use Marco Casper, there may be a question that comes up. And knowing him, he's more than happy to share those experiences about what he's gone through. And yeah, it's good to have him around.